interactive session. Okay, you can feel free to ask any question. In like it could be, don't feel like it's a silly question or anything. You can ask me. Okay, all right. If I know the answer, definitely I'm going to tell. If no, then I will check the answer and get back to you. All right, fine. We can take another 2 to 3 minutes because I think still few more people are joining. Okay, right. So daily the class will start by 7 o'clock. Okay, 7 p.m. IST. So you will have a 5 minutes leisure time. Like in case like if you're stuck in traffic or if anything not getting joined or network delays, anything maybe happen, right? So the reason why 5 minutes I will give for the buffer time. So meanwhile, by 7:05 it will be started. All right. So suppose like if you have any urgent work or anything that you occupied, okay. So then you no need to worry. We will provide the recording sessions to you. All right. So it doesn't mean that you have to skip the class and all. Okay. So try to join in case if you are unavailable or anything that is very important works, then you can on that particular day you can skip it and you can join in the next class as well. All right, fine. All right, 1 more minute. Fine. Okay. uh why we need to come to Azure? Okay. Nowadays everybody is saying that cloud, cloud, cloud. So what exactly the cloud? So why we need to learn the cloud? Is there importance that we need to learn the cloud, or why companies are very Jay, can you go on mute, please? Yeah. So, guys, if you have any questions, I'm just trying to reiterate again. So, if you have any,
Vishal, yeah, Vishal. So you are the host. So in case if anyone is
yeah,
talking, you
yeah,
can mute
yeah,
everyone. Okay.
I can try
Yeah,
to
yeah.
mute
Thank
it.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Uh, yeah. So nowadays, everybody is trying to say that uh, cloud, 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 cloud. So, what is the use of the cloud? Why we need to acquire the cloud? Okay. So there is a different things involved in the cloud. Okay, so once we probably go into the session, probably you can understand what is the importance of the cloud, why we need to go with the cloud. Okay, all right. So basically what this session is going to be advantage and who can learn this session and what are the benefits of learning this session. All right, so this session is completely, we made it for the person who has already the knowledge into the SQL Server, DBA. Okay, and if we learn the Azure, then it could be a benefit for them. All right. So if the person who is not having the SQL knowledge and if you try to join this session directly, um, this will not, you don't get these things and all because it's kind of an advanced topic to the SQL Server. How we gonna migrate the SQL servers from on-premise to the Azure? Okay, and how we will manage the entire systems into the Azure, how we can create the new virtual machines and building of the networks. Okay, there is a complete different setup. All right, so we are going to tell you from the basics to the advanced. All right, okay, so quickly let me share my screen. All right, I hope you guys are able to see my screen. If anyone having if anyone not visible, just let me know. All right, okay, so what is a exactly cloud? What is a cloud? Okay, so cloud is nothing but so maintaining the uh, hardwares like our system, everything into the data center. Okay, we are accessing through the computer resources through the internet. We call it as a cloud computing. All right, the simple definition is accessing the computer resources through the internet is called cloud computing. All right, so cloud computing is a delivery of on-demand computing resources over the internet on a pay-per-use basis. Okay, so cloud computing computing resources. What is the computing resources exactly? So why we need a compute power, correct? So suppose I have a system which is running with suppose 4 GB of RAM and along with the 200 GB of storage and with the i5 processor. Okay, something setup I have. All right. So then what will happen if I use this kind of setup and if I run the bigger application? So then I may encounter the problems, correct? So if in order to purchase a new thing, again it is going to be cost for me. Okay. Again I need to go with the new resources. Again I have to acquire the everything, right? All right. In such a cases, this cloud computing it came into the picture. Okay. You can increase your resources at any time. Okay, you can increase your resources at any time. If you don't want this configuration, yes, you can downgrade also. You can upgrade and you can downgrade. Anything is possible in the cloud. That is one of the beauty of the cloud computing. All right. So the simple definition of cloud computing is we can access. One second, guys. Sorry for the inconvenience. Sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. So uh, we can access these computer resources through the internet is called cloud computing. All right. Fine. So in cloud, we have basically three types of clouds that is offering in the market. So what are those clouds? Public cloud, private cloud, and hybrid cloud. All right. So basically, these cloud providers, we have several cloud providers in the market. Like if you consider, there is a um, uh, Amazon, AWS. Okay, AWS we call it as a Amazon Web Services. Google we have Azure. Okay, we have several cloud providers in the market are available. All right. So cloud providers. Okay. So these are the major cloud providers in the market. All right. So if you see DigitalOcean, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, okay, GCP, Google Cloud Platform, VMware, OpenStack, Alibaba Cloud, IBM Cloud, Amazon Web Services, okay, like this, we have a many cloud providers in the market. Cisco also we have Oracle, okay, like we have many cloud providers in the market. So then you will get a question. So we have a several providers in the market. Uh, okay, then why I need to learn only the Azure? Okay, all right. So what is the reason for it is the if you consider the whole market as 100%, in that the major shareholder is AWS, which is occupying 34%. Okay, and the next place is Azure, which is almost 21% in the whole market. Okay, not in India or not in US or not in any one country. It is throughout the world. Okay, so this is not a small number. 21% is not a small number. All right, it is almost the second place, and uh, in few years, like it might be 3 4 years, it may chance to beat the AWS as well. Okay, so what is the reason for Azure? It may going to beat the AWS because Azure products are very like a familiar products in the market, like .NET applications. Okay, there are many applications with the Microsoft, correct? Teams, there are Outlook, many applications. All right. So the reason why there might be chance of it may beat the AWS as well in future. I'm not telling today. it might be chance of in future. All right. So the reason why, and also the one of the beauty part is, if you will learn any one of the cloud like AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, it will be similar, guys. All the work will be similar in all the clouds. All right. So if you learn Azure, it will be easy for you to go and create the same kind of services in AWS as well. Correct? All right. Fine. So it is Azure is almost 21%. It is having the market in the 21% is occupied. So it is not a small number. So you can learn Azure happily. All right, fine. So every cloud provider, they can offer three types of clouds. One is public, private, and hybrid. So what is this public cloud basically? This public cloud is, it is kind of a public service which is available for everyone. Okay. So like I can take the best example of public services like trains, buses. Okay. These kind of things we call it as a public services. In public services, what will happen? Suppose I want to travel from Delhi to Mumbai. Okay. So if I take a public service like train or bus, it will come for like um, 1,000 rupees or 2,000 rupees. I can travel from uh, Delhi to Mumbai with help of 2,000 or 1,000 rupees. Okay. So, and in public service, what will happen? The cost will be very less, right? Cost will be very less. And when compared to the security, you don't have much security. What is the reason for it? Because everybody is there in the service, and your baggage and um, your things and all, there is no security, right? No one cannot guarantee you that your data or your things will be stolen from someone. Correct? So there might be chance of high risk in the public. All right. In the same way, what public cloud is saying that it is available for everyone. Okay, anyone can go and sign up for the public services. All right. So in public services, your security will be, it is not up to the mark. It means that you cannot experience the much security in the public services or public cloud. All right. And private cloud, so it's a owned by a private organization. All right. So the best example of private cloud is like in real time, if I can take the example, like hiring a cab or hiring a vehicle, that is a private cloud. If you hire a vehicle means, then what will happen? You will have a more security, correct? So you will book a cab from Uber or Ola. So, and they are the responsible for your private security. In case if you lost something like your things or anything, if you lost, you may file a case against the private cloud. Correct, right? Your private partner. All right. And it is owned by you, and you only alone will travel into the vehicle. Correct. In the same way, if you acquire a private cloud, you will have a more security and you will get more features in the private cloud. All right. So then there is a hybrid cloud called, it is nothing but the combination of public plus private is called. So Tariq, can you go on mute? All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. So hybrid is nothing but it's a combination of public plus private is called hybrid cloud. Got it? So yeah. So there are several cloud providers in the market, but the major stakeholders are Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. Correct? Okay. So then, okay. So in public, in cloud, it has three categories. Okay, it has a three categories. What are those three categories? We call it as a SAS, PaaS, and IaaS models. Okay, it has a three categories: SAS, PaaS, and IaaS model. So what is SAS? Okay, SAS is nothing but it's a software as a service. It is software as a service. So there is nothing to do. Okay, simply the cloud provider, they build everything in the SAS model, and they can give you the software and you can simply use that software. That's it. Okay, that is called SAS model. The best example for the SaaS model are if I compare in uh, Azure, the best example are like Outlook, okay, our Teams, these kind of applications, the best example for SaaS, correct? So I no need to like develop or do something on the Teams, right? Directly I can go and utilize the Teams. I can chat, I can call through Teams, correct? Our Zoom is also the best example for the SaaS model, correct? So do I need to do or do I need to build this application, Zoom application? No, right? So simply I can open a meeting and I can deliver the class, and then later I can stop the sharing, and then I can record the session and give it to the students who have joined. It is simple example for SaaS model. In SaaS model, you no need to do anything. It's a direct software given by the organization and use it and pay per use. How much you are using, what is your usage? Based on that, you have to pay to the organization. All right, that is SaaS model. So PaaS model. So what is this PaaS model? So it is platform as a service. Okay, it is having similar benefits like SaaS model. Okay, and rapid software development, no need to buy and maintain software and underlying infrastructure. All right, so the best example for PaaS model is like we have a single DB model, we have elastic DB model. Okay, in Azure I am talking. Okay, so we'll see a lot on this PaaS model. Elastic DB, we have single DB and managed instance. These three we call it as a PaaS models. All right, and IaaS model. So in IaaS model, infrastructure as a service, you can maintain everything. Okay, so what you are going to maintain and what the cloud provider can manage, everything you can see in a diagram. Okay, so take an example that you are using a on-premise model. Suppose I have a on-premise model and I want to build an application. Okay, so then what it require, the minimum things I have considered. So you require application, correct, and you require data and runtime and middleware, OS, virtualization, servers, storage, and networking. These are the minimum requirements in order to maintain any application, correct? Okay, so in on-premise model, so then what will happen, you have to maintain each and every part by you or your organization, correct? So you have to build your application, you have to build your data, you have to take care of the runtime, you have to take care of the middleware in case like you want to use any middleware servers, and OS, virtualization, servers, storage, and networking, everything your organization has to take care. All right. In if you compare in the same thing in the Azure, when it compares to the IaaS model or SaaS model, in SaaS model, see, all are red. It means that everything will be managed by your cloud provider. All right, in PaaS model, only only in PaaS model, only your application and data only you have to manage, and rest of the things like your runtime, okay, how much uptime it required, and the middleware and the OS part and virtualization, server, storage, networking, everything will be taken care by your cloud provider. So what exactly these and all, you may get little bit confused here. Okay, so what is the reason for it? Because once we enter into the topics, or once we enter into the exact topic, then only you will come to understand each and everything, you will correlate. Clear? As of now, just have a brief look on it. No one will not ask these kind of questions in interview or anywhere, but you should have some idea. So what is this SaaS model, PaaS model, IaaS model? So what Azure is offering PaaS and SaaS models in SQL. All right, so you must have some knowledge on it. Okay, in IaaS model, so there are some limitations. What are those limitations? Okay, so what are those limitations? All right, so in infrastructure as a service model, application, data, runtime, middleware, and OS, you have to take care. Virtualization, server, storage, and networking will be managed by your cloud provider. All right, so we'll see
Vishal,
slowly.
Praveen this side.
Yeah, please.
In real time, in which model we use in general?
All
SAS.
models. Like again, it depends on the company requirement. Suppose you are working
As
for
a
a,
as a SQL DBA, we use PAS model or SAS model.
we use PAS and IAS models. There is
Okay.
nothing to do with SAS models, frankly, I'm telling. Okay.
Okay.
And we don't have any concept with SAS model for SQL.
Okay.
Okay. We use PAS and IAS models mostly.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah,
having any?
Vishal,
Yeah,
yeah, Vishal
please.
Ankit this side. Actually, I have question for that. We have in SQL services, Azure SQL Server, there are multiple stuff of database they can use, or only SQL services they are only use, like Oracle, DB2, Sybase, and
One second. Sorry for the inconvenience. Can you reframe the question, please?
yeah, yeah, Vishal, I'm asking for that. Uh, Azure only use SQL, or they are use multiple like Oracle, DB2, Sybase, and all.
Yes. Yes, you can utilize any service.
Okay.
It is not restricted that only like only you have to utilize the SQL services.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Only you have, this is
Someone
Azure.
has to mute Shanmugh. Sorry, Vish.
Okay. So can you everyone please go on mute, please, whoever is not utilizing or whoever doesn't have question. You can go one by one. Okay, that's not hurry that you have to put it question immediately or something. Okay. So I will answer each and everyone's question. Don't worry. All right. Fine. So basically, like Azure is it's kind of a platform. Okay. So how you want to use Azure? It's up to you. Okay. So if you want to utilize the Oracle services, yes, you can come to Azure. You can build a Linux machine. On top of that Linux machine, you can install the Oracle services. Correct? Fine. I want to use DB2. Yes, you can install a Linux machine again. On top of that, install the DB2 services. If you want to utilize the Sybase, yes, Linux, install the Linux machine. On top of that, build the Sybase server. Like that, there is no restriction that you have to use only the SQL server. Okay, you can utilize for anything, right?
So it is a category of platform as a service because voice is provided by the Azure, and as per our requirement, whatever
Yeah.
application is needed,
Hmm.
that we can install over that.
Yes, that is also there. And a few things like if I want to go with any specific kind of like combination combo. Okay, so like I want to go with SQL Server 2022 along with SQL Server 2022 Windows. It's kind of a combo, right? Okay. In such combos, you may get the discounts from Azure because this product is exclusively designed by Microsoft and you are using the same product. So they will give more benefits to you. They want to attract you basically. Correct? So the best example I can take you that if they have their own brands, like if you take example of Amazon, till yesterday there was a big billion days, right? Sale was there. Okay, if you go with the Amazon brand, so where you will get more and more discounts, correct? So the reason behind is it is developed by them only so that they can give more discounts to you. In the same way, when you go with the Microsoft products, and Azure is also developed by Microsoft, so you may have the more discounts. Got it?
Yes.
Okay. So what about managed instance? What is that mean? Okay. So managed instance is something that you will come to understand once we enter into the classes. Okay. So managed instance is something that where we can build a SQL server. It is same like as your IAS model. Okay, everything will work out, but you don't maintain anything like your backups and everything. You don't maintain anything. Okay, there is a slight difference between single DB model and managed instance model. I will go through each and every point. So what are the differences? So why we need to like on which basis you have to go with which model? Okay, and legacy applications, how you have to run the legacy applications. There's a different story, correct?
So is this like a physical machine where we can install VMware and after that we can install
SQL.
like SQL Server,
Yes,
like
yes. That is
Oracle?
that. Yes, that's what. That is IAS model. Completely you can install or you can utilize however you want.
Okay, it means it is only a platform where we can use any services.
Correct, correct. It's like a platform. You can use it for any anything that whatever you want.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but our most of the topics are related to the SQL. Okay, I don't want to touch the DB2 related, or I don't want to touch with Oracle related. Correct. So as most of the persons are related to the SQL server, so if I take more and more onto the SQL server, maybe it will be the more advantage. Correct. So if I go with Oracle, so then that is a different part. If you guys want, then I can quickly show one session on how to install the Linux machines and how to connect to the Linux machines. And if you want to install the Linux machine OS and all, I can show you one class for that. Okay. All right. So any other questions, guys? All right. Fine. Okay. So let me go through the
Someone is asking in the chat.
yeah, thank you. After this course, what job roles we can apply for it? Okay. So you can apply for Azure SQL Database Administrator. That is a role.
And how many year of experience we would say to him, like if we take this session or this course, then how many years experience we would say, like 1 year, 2 year on Azure cloud? Or
Yeah. So like yeah, that's a good question. Okay. Uh, yes, Azure Cloud DB also, yes, you can apply. All right. So fine. Okay. So your question is like how many years of experience you can put it for the Azure experience and all, correct?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So basically, the cloud was introduced I can say that 10 years back. Okay. So, but it is getting familiar into the market. If you see the statistics and all from recent, like 4 to 5 years onwards, it is everybody they try to acquire this cloud and all into the market. Okay. So if you guys having 3 plus or 4 plus years of experience, then it will be good for you. Okay, it will be good for you. So if you put like 10 years and all, don't put 10 years and all, guys. Okay, frankly, I'm telling that that was not familiar by the time. If you put 10 plus years, they might ask you a lot of or many things. They want more and more expertise from you. Okay, so my best recommendation is this will be suitable for a person who is having SQL experience. You can put it according to your requirement, but Azure requirement, you can put it as 3 to 4 years. Then you will get a good amount of package as well. Like in between 10 to 20 lakhs, you may get the package along with the SQL knowledge. Correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Is it mandate to have a knowledge or expertise on SQL Server? Yes, it's mandate, guys. Okay. So without a SQL knowledge, this course will not useful to you. So if you, even though if you like join also, then there is no use. Clear? Okay. So try to have the SQL knowledge, and along with the SQL knowledge, if you have this Azure knowledge, then it will be benefit to you. All right. So if no questions, then probably we can continue with the topic. Okay. All right. So cloud is just an internet where we can use the server, DB storage, and compute application network via the internet. Computing is the data processing over the internet. So what is computing? Computing is nothing but processing the data is called computing. Okay, that's the simple definition of cloud computing. So email, can access email using your web browser, Google Drive, Google Apps. These are the best example of the clouds. Okay, so when we use the cloud computing, we don't need to worry about the maintenance, resource management, software updates, load capacity, storage capacity, and most of the cost. Correct? It is a delivery of on-demand computing resources as a service over the internet on pay-as-you basis. Okay, that we can see. So how we gonna manage the bills, how the bill will be generated based on your services. Okay, everything you can see from the cloud. All right, fine. So this is some diagram for the cloud computing. Okay, storage, compute, network, server, apps, database, everything, and we can access through the internet. Okay, so what is the characteristics of the cloud computing? So what type of characteristics the cloud computing may follow? Right? Sorry guys, a lot of the messages and all coming for the class. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. All right, the first characteristics of the cloud computing, these are very important guys. Okay, so elastic scalability. So what is this elastic scalability exactly? Okay, you can increase or decrease the resources as per your requirement. Okay, so what is this increase and decrease of the resources? Suppose I have created a virtual machine with the 2 GB of capacity and uh, with 2 GB of RAM, okay, and 100 GB of disk size, and along with the i5 processor, correct? So now what happened? Suddenly my requirement got changed. Okay, my data is getting filled, 100 GB got filled. I want to increase the things, correct? Yes, you can increase it. That is called elastic scalability. So you can demand on demand. Okay, you can increase or decrease of your resources according to your requirement. That is called elastic scalability. The cloud, every cloud will follow this elastic scalability. All right. Okay. Pay per use. So what this exactly pay per use? All right.
Whatever we use, we will pay for that.
Exactly. That is correct. Okay. So what you are using? Suppose I buy a laptop. Okay. Suppose I buy a laptop. So what will happen? Suppose I buy a laptop for 30,000. So whether if I keep it in my home or if I use it or if I don't use it, correct? But I have to pay 30,000 rupees, right? For that. Okay. Here in cloud, it is not something like that. So how many hours you want the service for next 1 hour or next 2 hours or next 3 hours or for next 1 year? Okay. After 1 year, if you don't want, you can simply demise the service. That's it. Correct. So how much you are using, pay for that only. That is called pay per use. This is a very important and one of the best advantage of the cloud computing. Okay, so the reason why most of the organization they attract to this cloud because of the pay per use. So suppose I want to build a one of the mission for next 5 hours. I want to utilize it for next 5 hours, and after 5 hours, I want to demise it. Yes, you can demise it. But in real time, if you want to build it in a on-premise model, you have to purchase the hardware. You have to purchase the everything. You have to purchase, right? You have to purchase the disks. You have to purchase the networking. Everything you have to purchase. Correct? And then later, what will happen? So if you want to sell it again, then it is going to be a second hand kind of thing, right? Okay. So the reason why you are wasting the money and to keep that server into your data center and all, again, it's a cost basis. Correct? All right. By including of all these factors, the uh, the cloud is came into the picture actually. Okay. And how much you are using, pay for that only. That is called pay per use. All right. On demand resources. What is this on demand resources exactly? You can demand the cloud. Okay, I want these many resources. I want 5 GB RAM additionally right now. Okay, I want 100 GB additional storage right now. Okay, and I want uh, like 250 GB processor 1.5 or i5 processor to the next processor I want to go. Okay, yes, you can always, they are welcoming you. You can demand them and they will supply according to your demand. All right, that is called on demand resources will be given to you. All right, fine. Resiliency. So is that, can you go on mute? Ramesh or Abdul, please go on mute. Thank you. Okay, so what is this resilience exactly? All right, so when suppose I have created a server in Azure, okay, and this server getting down due to some cloud issue or any data center issue or network issue, or might be power issue, anything. Okay, so if that one is down, okay, your cloud provider automatically it will switch over to the next available resource. Okay, they will switch over automatically. That is called resiliency. Okay, it means that they always try to up your service up and running. Okay, they don't want to allow the downtime for your service. All right, that is called resiliency. Okay, all right, so multi-tenancy. Okay, what is this multi-tenancy? So you there, any cloud provider resources can be accessed by multiple users. Each user or a tenant is separated from others. It is also called as resource pooling. So what exactly in cloud, it is not only built for you, right? It is built for the entire world. Correct? So there might be many users who came into the cloud and they will utilize the cloud services. Okay, so the reason why each user is a separated. Suppose my name is Vishal. I'm doing or I'm acquiring some cloud services. Whatever I am utilizing, suppose some person, X person is there in the meeting right now. So he cannot view what I'm doing, right? If he's viewing what I'm doing or what my storage is or what data I'm storing, if he sees, then where is the security? Correct? So there is a concept called multi-tenancy. So each user is separated and they cannot view each other's data. That is also very, very important. I cannot see, suppose Abdul is there in a call. I cannot see Abdul's data and all. Correct? So Abdul data is separated from me. I cannot view Abdul data and Abdul cannot view my data. So that is called multi-tenancy. There might be multiple tenancies who can utilize the Azure services and each are separated and they cannot view each other data. Okay, so the reason why Azure is a very secure and it is a highly used in the market. Okay, so that's what we call it as a characteristics of the cloud computing. Okay, and let's see what are the advantages of the cloud computing. So what are the advantages? Why I need to utilize the cloud? Okay, let's see. So cost effective. Okay, so what is this cost efficiency? It means that cost is everybody can easily can offer these services. Okay, so when you tie up with Azure and when you buy the license and all, they might uh, so organizations can have the very good context, and based on that they can give some the offers and all, correct? All right, that's how it will work. So cost is very efficient and everybody can able to offer it. All right, fine. And the next advantage of the cloud computing is almost unlimited storage. Okay, so there is nothing limited that you have to, there is nothing, like they cannot restrict you that you have to utilize only 100 GB, 200 GB, 300 GB, something like that. You can utilize how much storage that you want. They can keep on providing the storage to you, but it's again depend on your application or depend on your requirement, correct? So but cloud will not say that I am cannot give you the storage and all. They're ready to provide the storage. So how much storage they provide, you have to pay that much, correct? Obviously they are benefited with how much you are utilizing. Okay, and ease access of information. What is this ease access of information? If you want to any information that you want from the cloud, yes, you can always request to the Microsoft, I want this information. Okay, so I want cost analysis, I want this one, why my service is this much utilized, why the bill is this much generated, I have this issue, that issue. So can I go where and check the any topic related or anything utilizing of services, any information, you can easily get it from the Azure. All right, and backup and recovery, this is very very important. So you no need to worry of your backups and recovery part. Okay, it is completely taken care by your cloud provider. All right, so I don't need to worry of my backups. So what happened to my database, or what happened to my server, or what happened to my um, storage middleware or anything. Okay, so your cloud provider will be taking care of your backup and recovery process. Okay, so automatic software integration. So what is this automatic software integration? So there are few applications or few databases. It will come by default with the softwares. Okay, and easily you can integrate those softwares with the database. All right, anything you can easily you can automate it. Okay, and quick development. So what is this quick development? If you want to build a virtual machine, okay, I can build it within 2 to 3 minutes. It won't take not more than 2 to 3 minutes. All right, it's a very 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 quick operation. I can perform any kind of things. Okay, I can build a server within next 5 minutes and ready to use it for. All right, in the same thing, if you want to do it in an organization or in a on-premise model, there is a many teams involved in it. Each team will take at least one day like that. If it go keep on go for, it will take at least 5 to 10 days to build one server. But in on Azure model or cloud model, it is very easy. Okay, which is very easy, and I can build it in next 5 to 10 minutes. That's what we call it as a quick development. All right, this is one of the biggest advantage of the cloud computing. All right,
Vishal,
Yeah.
this automatic software integration, can you just give an example for that? Like,
yeah, the best example for automatic integration, software integration, something uh, like I want to utilize some um, like W, the best example for I can say that. Okay, W is a software, okay, which is used for to fetching the data, to fetching the reports, right? So
yeah,
if my database is a like a reporting database, okay, I can integrate that software like W software with the database, and I can fetch the reports.
got it. Thank you.
Okay, like that you can automate the. So in real time, if you want to do it, there might be many things you have to do it, right? You have to use the plugins or many things that you have to do it. But in Azure, so each and every software is integrated. All right, if you want to utilize, yes, use it, utilize it, and when you don't want, you can demise it. That's it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so S- So like how the coin has two faces, like a head and tail, in the same pattern, like every service or everything it may be, okay, it has a two things. One is advantage and the second one is disadvantage. So we have seen so far the advantages. Let's see what are the disadvantages of the cloud computing. Let's have a look on it. Okay, fine. So internet connection. All right. So if I want to utilize the Azure services, or if I want to create any services in Azure, definitely it require a internet. All right. So without a internet, suppose I don't want to use the internet, or I don't want to allow the internet means, then don't go for this Azure model. All right. So you must have a proper internet connection to create any service in Azure. All right. Fine. Some security controls. So what is the security concerns? What is the security concerns? All right. So like there are many kind of organizations in the world, right? There might be financial organizations, there might be health kind of organizations, there might be uh, uh, the automobile, okay, like many industries in the market, right? Okay, so what financial organizations they feel that, okay, I'm putting my data, suppose I have a data, so I'm putting my data into Azure, correct? I'm putting my data into Azure. I'm keeping a database, on top of the database I'm storing the my data. So then what will happen? So I feel that my data is very sensitive. All right. So suppose my data is something like related to the bank. Okay. So I have a bank, some XX number, account number with having some 10,000 of deposit. All right. So if I put my data into the Azure, so what the financial organizations, they are feeling that, so there might be chance of a data threatening by the cloud provider. All right. So that is actually not the true. Okay. That's kind of a myth in the market. Okay. Azure will not see your data, or Azure will not access your data. They don't access it basically. Correct. But still the in the market, so the financial organizations are the some what we can say, insurance companies, they and all, they are not that much into the cloud basically. Okay. So like rest of the organizations, they are like 30 to 40% they are utilizing the cloud, but financial organizations, they are very rare, like 5 to 10% they are using the cloud. All right. So what is the main reason for it? Because they feel that it is a security concern, and there might be chance of their data may be threatening from the hackers and all, or the cloud provider itself. All right. So that's the reason why mostly they don't allow, or they don't keep their services that much into the cloud. All right. Fine. So that is one of the security concern, but that is not the actual thing. Okay. Your Azure will give 99.99% assurance or accuracy to your data. If something happened to your data, they are going to pay the penalty to you. Got it? Okay. And next very interesting thing is no control on resources. Exactly true. Okay. You cannot have any control. Suppose I have created a virtual machine. Okay. And that virtual machine, I don't have any control on it. All right. So I don't have any control on it. The control will be taken away from you, and it will be completely maintained by your cloud provider. Clear? Suppose I have created a SQL server, okay, which is into the single DB model. There are many things that are taken away from you. So what are those things are taken away from you? So why they have kept like this? There is a reason behind it. So everything I will clearly tell you in the upcoming classes. Okay. So basically you don't have any control on your resources. Like I want RAM to be taken away from my server. I want to insert a new disk, or I want to do the something. Okay. I want to insert a pen drive, or these kind of things. If you want to do it, so you don't have any such control on that resources. All right. So your controls will be taken away from you, and it is completely maintained by your cloud provider. Got it? So why they have taken away like few controls from you? They want to achieve a high availability. Like always they want to make your service should be up and running. So if you do something if you take the controls, and if you do some kind of R&D and you make the services down, okay, then what will happen? So that is kind of a downtime to their your application, right? So the reason why they don't allow to do all these kind of things, correct? So basically that's the reason why they taken away few of the controls from you. Okay. And so and it is depends on your cloud provider. So what is it is depends on your cloud provider means, so what kind of cloud provider that you are acquiring, like AWS or Azure or GCP or Alibaba Cloud. So what type of cloud provider that you are uh, utilizing, okay, you have to follow their standards or you have to follow their rules and regulations, correct? Clear? That's a mandatory, you have to follow their rules and regulations because you are utilizing their service and you have to follow their rules, obviously. So 1 second guys, I just want to keep in charging my laptop. 1 second. All right. Okay. So I can say that these are not the disadvantages. I can say that these are the not disadvantages. This is kind of a limitations we can say. Okay. These are the kind of limitations. So in order to utilize the in order to utilize the Azure, so or any cloud, you must have internet. That is kind of a minimum requirement, right? Okay. So I can say that these are not disadvantages, these are the limitations. All right. And what are the cloud types we have? We have seen it: public, private, and hybrid. Public is something that which is a public service, everybody can utilize a cloud, and this will come for cheaper prices. Private is a exclusively, it is given to you, and where you have to pay a lot. When compared to the private, public will get it for cheaper prices and private will be the little bit high cost, because dedicated kind of resources or dedicated kind of things will be given to you. So hybrid is a, it's a kind of mixed environment like public plus private, and it's the cost will be moderate or medium kind of cost you will get it. All right. So which kind of pub service that you want to acquire, where you have to put it your services, okay, where you have to utilize, this will be decided by your architect, cloud architect. There is a role called cloud architect. For each organization there will be a cloud architect. This cloud architect, they will design initially and keep it the what they will tie up with the cloud, okay, and they mostly all the organizations they use only the private cloud. So what is the reason for it? They have the security concerns, correct? Okay. So we have seen what is public cloud. Okay, whole compute infrastructure is located on a premises of cloud computing company that offers the cloud services. The location remains separate from the customers and has no physical control over the infrastructure. Public cloud top vendors such as AWS, Microsoft, Azure, okay, and Google Cloud and VMware. All right. So we have already seen it, right? Paper as you go, support multiple customers, zero maintenance, scalability. Okay, these are the characteristics of the cloud computing. All right. So private is, so this is a where you have the complete private kind of thing. Okay, and the cost will be high when compared to the public. And the top vendors for the private are HP, Cisco, Ubuntu, Red Hat, Dell, AWS, or VPC, Rackspace, etc. These are the top most vendors for the private cloud. All right. Characteristics also we have seen it. Okay, and hybrid also we have seen it.
Sir, what could you little bit explain about the hybrid model?
So hybrid is nothing but it will have both the public and private cloud. Okay, it's a combination of public plus private.
Suppose I am taking a cloud services, then that is a private kind of. But how could it be? I mean to say that it can be included in the private, public.
Yeah, okay. So the best example for hybrid, like we have the semi-government sectors, right? Have you
Yeah,
heard about the semi-government sectors?
yeah, I am heard about that. They are undertaking organizations
Correct,
working for the.
correct. Okay. So like if you take the total of 100%, so 50% will be given by the public and 50% will be maintained by the government. That is called semi-government sectors. Okay. So in the same way, so you will have the public and private, both the combination you will have. If you want a application that is a public application, and a few fields or few columns will be the private fields, then it's a combination of both will be available in hybrid cloud. It's a mixed environment.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So and IaaS, SaaS and PaaS models, we have seen the definitions and why we need to go with the IaaS, PaaS and SaaS models. Okay. That is also we have seen it. Okay. All right. So let's see one diagram. Okay. All right. Fine. Azure data centers. Okay. Basically, this is a data center, Microsoft data centers. Okay. Like this. Okay. They construct a very long building, and inside that they keep all the racks for their systems. Okay. Like this. This we call it as a rack. In each rack, they will have a several systems. Systems are nothing but servers. Okay. Physical servers. Those physical servers will be one physical server will be divided into multiple servers that we call it as a virtual machine. That is a different part, guys. Virtualization and all. We'll see slowly. Okay. Today, don't rush. You want to learn all the things means you will get a lot of confusion. Okay. Slowly, I will take up into the each and every topic slowly. All right. So when you see the physical location, so it doesn't mean that they don't maintain any data center and all. Okay. Obviously, Microsoft is also maintaining the data center, and from the data center, they will give the servers to you. So the reason why you no need to maintain the data center and all. Okay. It's kind of a like a big benefit to you. So you no need to maintain the data center. Inside the data center, you no need to maintain the AC services, power bill, maintenance, and then security. Okay. There are many things involved in it, data center, right? So if you guys anytime visited the data center, you might aware of it. So how it looks like, what kind of things it will be. Okay. Networking. There is many things involved in the data center. Correct. So those and all, you no need to worry. So your cloud provider will be taking care of all those things. All right.
Shall you are in mute.
I was on mute. Got a call. Okay. Sorry. So this is a kind of a data center. Okay. And inside the data center, you will have the setup something like this. Okay. Each and everything is a rack. Inside the racking, there is a this is a networking, how they used to do the networking. Cables and all will be on top. All right. So why they keep the cables and all on top means they want to protect it from the rats. If any rat enter into this data center and they bite these cables, what will happen? He will face the network issue. So the reason why it will be very secure. They don't allow the rats and all inside basically. Okay. It is a very closed environment, and even though they don't allow even mosquito also inside of it. Correct. All right. And this is how the physical servers will be placed in the racks, and this is the cabling, network cabling. Okay. All right. Fine. So these and all will talk a lot. Okay, what is their, how many regions they have, and how many data centers. Regions are nothing but the countries. Okay, and how many countries they are supporting. Almost 150 plus countries they are supporting. We'll see that part tomorrow. Okay, slowly we can. This is again a kind of US data center. Okay, all right, fine. So now what happened, like Microsoft did one of the like kind of R&D. Okay, recently they have kept their data center into the ocean. Okay, that's kind of big highlight in the news. Okay, so now they are keeping their data center into ocean as well. So why they are placing this is the one. Okay, see enough. Microsoft Johannesburg and Cape Town Azure data center weeks away from going live. All right, they are placing this data center. This is a data center. Okay, and they are keeping this data center into the ocean. All right, so why they are keeping this data center in the ocean? So they want to always the data center our system should not get heat, right? So if they place this data center into the ocean, so they reduce the AC power and all right. So the reason why they are doing kind of R&D, research and development. In future you may see the data centers in ocean as well, correct? That is kind of very interesting topic. Okay, so and they have named it something, I forgot this name. They kept some name for this. Okay, that is very familiar. All right, fine. Okay, I think we are fine to close for today. Okay, Shanmukh, you there in call? I think Shanmukh is also not there. Okay,
Vishal, I have a question.
yes, please.
See, since MS SQL and MySQL, the both the process are different. Like, but the way of concepts are same and the process is different, right?
Correct. Okay, MySQL is a different product. MS SQL is a different product. Okay, MS SQL is a Microsoft SQL Server. Okay,
Okay.
MySQL is different.
Okay, concepts are same, but the
Like in every database, like if you take a Oracle also, concept will be the same. Okay,
so here my question is what is the comparison with Azure and AWS?
yeah, okay. So Azure and AWS concepts are same. Okay, suppose here in Azure we call the server as a virtual machine. Okay, but in AWS we call it as a easy to instance. Okay, naming will be the change, but concept is everything is same.
Okay.
Got it? So that's the reason why I told if you learn one cloud and rest of the clouds are very easy.
Okay, fine.
Okay, because if you know in the market, if you develop any one product, suppose I'm not supposed to say all of these things, but just try to follow me. So if you compare all the UPI apps like Phone Pay, Google Pay, okay, there are many applications in the market, right? So initially, one person may have the idea to develop an application called UPI application, correct? So then later what happened? Everybody they started developing their own kind of applications, right? So there is a Bharat Pay, many applications in the market, and again each bank have their own UPI apps, correct?
Correct.
But the first idea come to some X person, all right? They have the patent rights, correct? So the reason why what they do, they will change the name differently, correct? So some person they will keep it as Phone Pay, some person they will keep it as Bharat Pay, some person they will keep it as Google Pay. Everything is pay only, but naming and all will change. And the suppose I told right, the namings will be changed, but obviously the functionality is same, right? So I want to send a money to my friend, correct? Everything is a UPI app only. Through phone pay I can send, through Google Pay I can send, correct? So in phone pay they might use some different word, and Google Pay they might use a different word, but obviously the functionality is same. In AWS, Google and GCP, all are same only, but the naming will be changed.
So we need to find out the terminologies. That's it.
Correct. Exactly. Terminology will be different, but functionality is same.
Yeah, thank you.
Out of all these like cloud computing, which one came first, Vishal? Like Azure or
Uh,
I mean in the
uh,
market, like.
yeah. So in the market, if you guys are aware of it, the first the familiar, I can say that. Okay, AWS is very familiar in the market. Okay, so they came up with the cloud and all. They initially they started. Okay, and then later slowly it is started by all the organizations. Correct.
Got it.
So Google is also now they are eagerly entering into the market. They want to now they are almost 10%. Earlier it was 7%. Okay, now they almost 3% got increase. Now 10% it is. Okay, and they want to slowly make a big market in.
Yep.
Yeah, for this course, SQL Server knowledge is basic knowledge is fine, or we need any experience in SQL Server as a DBA.
As a DBA, I can say that like moderate kind of knowledge.
Like before, we need to work on a SQL Server, or if it just have knowledge on basic, then it will be fine. Or
I can say that if you have a basic knowledge, just go and refresh your kind of knowledge. Okay, so you have enough time, right? Still we are into the basics only. You just go and refresh everything. So like if you have a books or something, some
yeah,
materials or kind of
about coding, like SQL query knowledge,
coding is
or
not required. Coding is
query
not
knowledge,
required. Coding knowledge is
or
not required.
just concept knowledge.
Concept knowledge is enough.
Which means we took a course on it's Samuk only. So that's
So
why.
which concepts are main for the helpful for this Azure, Vishal?
Concepts are like all the concepts. Okay, SQL
Like which?
concepts I'm going to cover up, like creation of the databases, migration of the databases from on-premise to Azure and Azure to on-premise. Okay, that's one part. There are mainly three things that I'm going to cover up. Okay, single DB model, elastic DB model, managed instance, and IaaS model. Okay, in order to cover up this, there are again many things involved. Okay, so in IaaS model, if you go to the IaaS model, so you have to build the virtual machine, you have to build the networking, you have to build the virtual machine, storage you have to do. There are many things, right? So I have to brief each and every topic. Like if I go to the networking means I have to tell each and everything. What is a private network? What is a public network? And then I have to show by building a sample network, right? Then only you will come to understand the topic. Correct?
Yeah.
So it's completely a database kind of. Okay. So suppose I can take the best example like in order to build a SQL server on a server like Windows server. So in real time, if you are an on-premise guy, what you will do? The Windows team can install the Windows server. Storage team can assign the disks. Then later network team will do all the network related things. Then if any applications or anything, application team will take care everything, right? So then what is your task? You will go to the server and install the SQL server. That's it. And then later you can build a database and you will give the connection string to the application team so that they can start utilizing the database server. That's it, right? Only your task is very limited. You have to build only SQL server. But here in Azure, it is not something like that. You are eliminating directly or indirectly all of these guys, like where Windows guys, you are eliminating the network guys, you are eliminating the storage guys, and you are eliminating the like backup recovery process guys. Okay, these kind of all these teams you are eliminating. So all of these guys who are performing, you are going to perform these tasks.
So
Okay.
what is the difference between Azure SQL DBA and Azure Cloud DBA?
Azure SQL DBA means only he will responsible for all the SQL related things. Azure Cloud DBA means that is a different again. Okay, Azure Cloud DBA, he has to take care of all the Azure related things like granting access to the cloud, okay, and maintaining the cloud. Okay, again, it's kind of a security to the entire Azure.
Yeah, can
Okay,
we apply for Azure Cloud DBA also for this one?
Azure Cloud DBA, if you apply also, yes, you can apply, but in interview you cannot crack it. Okay, those questionnaire will be different.
Do
This
we need
questionnaire will be
to
different.
do we need to learn something more other than this course?
Yes, you have to learn more. Okay, so guys, one thing, okay, Azure is not a small thing. Okay, if I want to tell the complete about the Azure, it will take at least 4 to 5 years to cover up the entire topics. Okay, those many services and those many applications and those many databases and those many features. All right, every feature will be available. Like if you want to chat GPT, yes, it is there. If you want any new application, like anything, okay, that is came into market, yes, it will be available in Azure. All right, it is a mixed kind of environment, all together you will get it. So if you want to explore each and everything, then it will take not only years, not only months, it will take, sometimes it will take ages also. Okay, all right, so but what is required as a DBA, additionally SQL DBA, I am going to cover up those topics. Okay, by tomorrow I am going to share the list of topics what we are going to cover up. Today it is just kind of a brief introduction, like what is a cloud, what is the purpose of the cloud, and why we need to learn the cloud. Okay, uh, what type of advantages that it will add to your resume or to your career along with the SQL DBA. Clear, everybody?
Yes, Vishal.
Okay, still anyone having any questions, you can feel free to ask me. All right, I hope
Vishal,
yeah.
what is job? There is jo job availability are there for SQL DBA, or is that enough, or any we have to take on any other stuff like Oracle or DB2 on cloud?
No, no, not required. Okay, so like if you are already doing a job or if you are already learning the SQL Server DBA, so
Yeah.
along with that SQL Server DBA,
Mhm.
this Azure SQL Server DBA will be helpful to you. Okay, so what happened, guys? What is the why we need to learn basically the Azure? Okay, like nowadays what happened? So the cost of the maintaining the data center is very huge, guys. Okay, so the reason why what happened, each organization, they are planning to keep their services into Azure. All right, so in such a way what will happen on the existing environment, they want to a person who can handle or who can do the migration from on-prem to the Azure, correct? So these kind of works you may get it. All right, so the reason why most of the stretch will do it on how we can do the migrations, how we can do the upgradations, these kind of stuff I will let you know in the sessions. All right, any other questions, guys? And still we have
So, Vishal, still here we see HADR concepts, right? Like that. In Azure SQL also, we have to see those kind of topics.
what kind of topics?
HADR, high availability disaster.
Yeah, so if I configure my server as a like IAS model, I can configure each and everything like log shipping. If you want, you can configure always on. Okay, mirroring, replication, whatever you want. Clear?
Means we are going to learn everything on cloud.
Not everything, guys. Okay, there is a slight.
Means
You have to
like
understand.
whatever we learn in SQL DBA.
Okay. Yeah. So whatever you have knowledge on, like suppose what I can say that directly. Okay. Suppose there is a topic called logins. Okay, or security. Okay. So
Yeah.
I will relate that topic, how it will be into the SQL and how that is into the Azure. Okay. So what kind of roles we have and what kind of roles that might not have in the Azure. All right. That's how it will work. Suppose if I take an example of installation, correct? So how the installation will be in on-premise model, how the installation it could be into the cloud, correct? All right.
Yeah.
And if I take another example of backup recovery. So in backup recovery, how we can do, we can take the backups or we can schedule the jobs, right? So in Azure model, so how it will differ, correct? Are they same? Are they differ? All right. So like that, each and every topic, I will not go like in deep. Okay. So I will tell what is the topic and how that is differs, and I will tell example. I will show the practicals, and I will give the interview questions. What type of interview questions you may get it from this topic. Correct. That is more than enough, right? So no need of deep dive into the topic. Okay. So it is almost I can touch all the topics. Got
For
it?
practicals, Vishal, like what are the system requirements so that at least by the time we start, we'll be ready
For,
with that.
for the system requirements, it is nothing. You just need a laptop. That's it. And to create an Azure account, you require a credit card. Okay. So credit card which was not used yet. Okay. If you used it a single time also, that is not you cannot use it. All right. Uh, so be ready with the credit card like Visa or MasterCard only. It is allowed. Okay, don't use RuPay card or any other cards. It is not acceptable because Microsoft is it's not a local organization, right? It's a global standard organization. So they have their standards. Okay, so they allow only Visa and Master, that to credit card, whether it is a HDFC or ICICI Bank or whatever the bank it may be. That but the card type should be Visa or Master. Got it?
With debit card, it will not work.
Debit card, yes, it is possible. Frankly, I am telling that I am using debit card. Okay, but the reason why we say debit, don't use a debit card, sometimes it won't take it, guys. There is a big like kind of issue with the debit card. Okay, sometimes it won't take it. They don't allow the debit card sometimes. Sometimes they will allow. Okay, frankly, mine is a debit card only. All right, so get a credit card from either one of your friend or colleague or your relatives, and be ready by like 2 to 3 days, and I will show you how we can create a free account, and after creation of the free account, how we have to utilize the services, and with that bill only you will get a $200 credit. Okay, so $200 means almost 13,500 INR, Indian rupees, you will get it. So I am going to tell you how you can utilize or how you can create each and every service with the help of the credits. All right.
Yeah.
Fine. Any other questions, guys?
And the instance and all, how will get the from clients?
Sorry?
Instance.
Incidents.
Yeah.
What kind of incidents?
In Azure DBA, how will get the from clients?
So you mean to say that if any server is down or anything?
Yeah. Yes.
Alerting
Yes,
part.
access level issue.
Alerting part. Alerting part, right?
No, I'm asking in SQL DBA, DB refreshing activities there. And in case any person will give access, it will give, right? I will get that all the instances.
Yeah. So basically, through the Azure there is a concept called Azure Active Directory. Okay. So with the Azure Active Directory, so suppose if you are a new joiner into the organization, so you want to get the access to the Azure portal, correct? So then what they do, so your account will be created into the Azure Active Directory. Okay, and they will give the limited access to you, whatever the access that is required in order to maintain. So they grant only those permissions to you. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And through, suppose I want to do a database refreshment activity from on-premise to the cloud. Correct? So basically how it will work, like in our organization, through the ticketing tool, they will raise the tickets, right? Incident or any changes, the same pattern here also. Okay. So in Azure also you have a multiple tools. Yes, you can utilize those tools. Or else if you have your own integrated tools, yes, you can integrate with Azure and you can utilize that service as well. All right. Fine. Still we have 2 more minutes, guys. Anyone having still any questions, you can feel free to ask me. So by 8:30 we can close the call. I hope everybody getting some knowledge on this today's session. Okay. Still anyone having any questions? Okay, you can always feel free to ask me. All right. So it's not something that we don't allow you to ask the questions and all. Okay. So always your questions are open and welcome. We can put it at any time.
Yeah, when we mention SQL Server and Azure SQL DB on resume, so what would be the primary skill? Is it SQL Server or Azure?
So both are primary only. It's not one primary and one secondary. Okay. So basically, guys, it's kind of like what I can say that the work what you are doing in on-premise, you do same thing in Azure. All right. So suppose I want to create a database. Okay, how we can do in on-premise model? You can use a create command, or else you can right click create. That's it, right? Here also same. You can do like that in Azure. So your functionality will be the same. There is no primary or there is no secondary. Okay. So your skill is like both are primary only. Your SQL Server along with Azure DBA knowledge.
Okay, so we get questions not like on Azure or on premises. The question will be direct on the functionality, right?
Yeah. So like each and every topic, I will give the question. Suppose there is a
No,
Azure
I
DB.
mean to ask like when we attend the interview, so interviewer will be asking on the Azure side or on prem side?
Both sides.
Both
Again,
sides.
it's completely depend on the requirement. Suppose there is a requirement called 70% you should be on-premise DB and 30% you should be Azure DB. 30% Azure DB knowledge is sufficient for him. Okay, then what he will do? He will put 70% questions into the from SQL Server and 30% from the Azure. Correct? And if you need a 70% Azure DBA and 30% on-premise, then his interview will be 30% on-premise and 70% will be into the Azure. Correct? In Azure, what are the topics that is required? I'm going to cover up all the topics, each and everything. What is the definition and how it will be useful, and what is the how we can do the practicals. All right. Fine, guys. Anyone having any questions? Okay. Then we are good to close for today. Thank you all. Thanks for your time. Okay. I hope you really got some knowledge from this session. Thank you. We'll catch you tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. IST. Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Happy learning. Yeah.
Sure.